Proposal to slash this financial year's budget by 300 billion shillings were the highlights in Parliament as the National Assembly began deliberating President William Ruto's address to the bicameral House. In their reactions, members embraced some of President Ruto's proposals while expressing reservations about others. Ibrahim Karanja has the details.
Thursday's address to the bicameral parliament by President William Ruto saw the fronting of an ambitious proposal to cut down the budget by 300 billion shillings. The proposal triggering a conversation with pundits analyzing the possibility and where to find the cut from.
Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu.
And so when the National Assembly sat to debate on the president's speech Wednesday, the issue of the cut took center stage.
It is possible. And you know the padding that is usually done in budgets, especially in the run-up to a general election. Honorable Speaker, you'll be shocked that immediately before, a week before the elections, and a week after the elections, the former regime was still padding the budget and making commitments. By the third week after elections, they had made commitments of close to 300 billion, 200 billion shillings, over and above what had been approved by this House only in June, at the beginning of June of this year. And you wonder, Honorable Speaker, what is this that had to be done outside the budget under Article 223 by those who served us in the National Treasury that could not be done and could not be done during the annual estimates only in April, 4 months ago?
The easier way to reduce the 300 billion would be to look at the last 5-year absorption rates in all the ministries. If you look at the percentage absorption, majorly, it borders about 65 to 70%. So if you had to use absorption rate based on the ministries, it will be much easier to reduce the 300 billion without specifically looking at the line items. So I encourage the technocrats of the ministry to look at the absorption in line ministries to determine how efficient a ministry is in absorbing their budgets.
Should be removed from the recurrent expenditure, not from the development budget, because we all need roads, we all need a lot of things in our constituencies, and we need that money for CDF. So they should not even think, when they are going to bring a supplementary budget, to remove the 45 billion of CDF, because that supplementary will not pass in this House.
President Ruto also mentioned to Parliament his government's intention to have a 50 billion shillings hustlers fund aimed at providing interest-free loans to the people. That too found itself as part of the major discussions.
Mr. Speaker, we already have 3 or more funds existing: the Youth Enterprise Fund, Women Enterprise Fund, WESO Fund. Mr. Speaker, if we can put more resources in these funds, they are more accessible. They have also done so much. And I'm sure with the Hustler Fund, 50 billion that the President is proposing, it can go a long way to improve also on these funds, because we have been using them, Mr. Speaker.
So how we arrived at this situation, from a situation of optimism to a situation where we have now declared our economy to be very bad. State capture in this country has been so real. And that is what has bedeviled the management of our economy and its affairs. It is state capture that captured our economy, and the economy stopped working for Kenyans and started working for a few people who wielded the instruments of power.
However, some members felt that the president's speech was unsatisfactory.
The other one is corruption. I didn't get much on corruption except in paragraph 19, when it came in the support for the judiciary.
Corruption, in as much as the monster in this country, does not require songs day in, day out.
The House will continue responding to the presidential address in their subsequent sittings Thursday. Ibrahim Karanja, NTV.